어떤 아버지도 그의 아들보다 오래 살 소이다. 나의 맹렬한 적에게 살해당했다. 사무라이가 내 나라를 침략하겠다. 그들은 내 집을 보고했다. 그리고 이제 그들은 죽을 것이다. 나의 눈 알복수들 할 것이다. 나의 눈 그들의 피로 상과 강골 도로뱉을 것이다. 살고자 하면 죽을 것이요 죽고자 하면 살 것이니.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another AMA with Onrie. I'm your host, Onrie Compan. It's great to be here with you guys this afternoon. Victoria, how you doing? You can see who else is in the house right now. And it's going to take a minute to fill up. Anyway, I'm doing these because you guys apparently like when I do them. I'm going to be getting ready for Cincinnati Comic Expo for the next hour. And then as soon as I'm done packaging up books, I am going to leave to go spend some time with my kids before I head out on the road tomorrow. And there's a lot going on right now. We're in the last 48 hours, 72 hours, less than 72 hours. How many hours are left? You guys can know. You guys probably know. Jordan, what's up? We're in the last 56 hours of our Kickstarter campaign, which is pretty wild. I'm dumping the link down here. Damien, how you doing, man? Haven't seen you in a while. And Jordan, same with you. So yeah, we're coming close to finishing up our Kickstarter campaign, which I'm super excited about. And there's a lot that is going to be going into this week here. A lot going on, I should say. We're very, very close to hitting our big stretch goal, which is to hit $10,000. I think we're like somewhere around $600 away from doing it, so we're not far off. We're about we were 624, and then someone backed out. We had 201 backers. Now we have 200. We're at 93.14 as of right now. So that leaves us exactly $686 to raise in order to hit our stretch goal, which if we can do that, that'll be fantastic. And while we're getting ready for this show, I'm realizing an even bigger problem, which is that I am now running very, very low on issues 2, 3, and 4 of Eastern Shin, and possibly even number 5. So over the next couple weeks, I'm going to have to be thinking about not just printing up. There's going to be a lot of printing going on over the next couple months here. And it's a matter of getting everything here safely, and also making sure that I have enough inventory right now to fulfill everything that I have set up for my customers. Mark's is almost out of print as well. So things have just been going so dynamite. So I really appreciate everybody who has supported our campaign so far. We wouldn't be this far without you guys. And the very real problem of and it's a good problem to have, of course, but it's a problem nevertheless, when stuff is going well and you got books selling, making sure you have enough to keep going, and that's kind of the challenge that I have right now. I wasn't expecting that I would have to stock up so quickly, especially considering that, the last time I printed up books was in 2019, right before the pandemic hit. It was at the end of 2019, and I lost an entire year of being able to move significant amounts of inventory. And it's interesting that it only took 2021, which is kind of a rebound year, and 2022 to move through so much stock and have to go back to press again. So I'm very, very happy about that, and I appreciate all of your support. You guys are all fantastic. We're in the business of making and selling comics here, and that's really always been my main passion, and something I've been thinking about lately too as we move into 2023 is it's going to be a really transformative year for me, mainly because Warline is going to be worked into my lineup, and this is a very important project to me. It's something I've been working on since COVID, and it's something that is veering away from history. It's a very different project for me as a creator, and so I'm really excited to get it out there. And it's going to take much more of a precedence next year when you guys see me at conventions. So there's definitely going to be Warline banners, and there's going to be all kinds of different stuff that we got going on to promote the book. And I'm going to be possibly working on another series as well. And this is all from my publishing line. So I'm trying to build up my publishing line because that's really kind of where my passion is in comics. Like, as much as I love reselling comics as well, which is something I'm always going to do because it helps supplement everything else I'm doing in publishing. So it all works hand in hand, and that's something that I'm very happy about, that I can merge the two so effortlessly. Of course, that means that rather than going out and buying expensive lots, I'm mainly focused on cheaper comics. But the great thing about it is every time we sell a comic, it's paying for art, it's paying for pages, it's paying for all kinds of stuff. So it's all very important. This weekend is a pretty important convention too. Not just because of the Kickstarter ending. I don't think that really has much. The two really aren't going to coincide with each other. The reason why this is an important show for me is the last time I did it, I kind of left with my tail between my legs. I had this really weird situation occur where I had a really hard time breathing and catching my thoughts. It may have been anxiety or something, and I had to pack up and leave a couple hours early. Well, now I can't really afford to do that. This show has to pay for itself, and it has to work out. So this is going to be a show where I'm really testing myself, and it's also going to be the last show that I do for a while because I'm not doing New York this year, which is actually kind of I hate to say it, it's kind of a godsend because I literally have one last box of Warrior and Defender books, Warrior and Defender 3 books left, and I still have like 4 conventions after this weekend that I have to do. Fortunately, I won't have to stock up at Baltimore because I'm actually going to be picking up inventory from Kevin out there. But there's still I'm still like running very, very low on books. So a lot of books are going to be going back to press, and we're going to be remastering all of these books. Issues 2, 3, and 4 are all going to get remastered. We're going to be adding more sound effects. We're going to be adding in all kinds of stuff just to kind of punch up the experience for you guys, and especially for people who haven't read it yet. But obviously, if you back the Kickstarter, it's not going to be a huge difference. It's still the same printer, it's same quality, same everything. But things are going. It's going back to press soon, and all these books are going back to press soon. But another book that's going to need to go back to press in the not too distant future is the first Warrior and Defender graphic novel. I think I'm down to my last one, and I have like a skid and a tenth of a skid left. So the book is selling like crazy right now. And honestly, ever since we hit 100,000 sales, which was back in 2019, and COVID hit, I stopped keeping track of how many books we sold, mainly because of the fact that you can kind of keep track of it based on the print runs anyway. And I know how many books I'm printing up, so I can kind of guesstimate from where I was in 2019 going forward where I would be at now. Let's check the comments. Yes, Jordan, I will be on tonight on a interview with which is airing at 10:30, and Rafael Tavares Jr. I'm going to be on his show, so I'm really looking forward to that. Yes, it'll be a large picture of David Moore. By the way, I've given Bentley a new nickname. I'm calling him Skid Bark now. He has a couple nicknames. He's he's Snortlepuss, and he's also Skid Bark. Skid Bark. That's his DJ name. Bentley, come here. Bentley, get here. Come here, bud. Come here, bud. Stay in here, okay? There's a loud sound. Come here, bud. Bentley, in here. Come on. And close the door. You want to say hi? Come say hi to everybody, Snortlepuss. There's Bentley, everybody. It's like someone was like doing something and like I had to like check it out and like just, scare them with my radar dish. It looked like a tulip in that thing. Mr. Skid Barkerson. Did I tell you guys who I made my next dog? Barkley. The best name for a dog because dogs bark. Get it? So this weekend show in Cincinnati, I'm bringing the same exact load that I brought with me in 2019. Last year's show was also different because there were mask mandates in place, and that kind of like made it hard. I think that's what contributed to the feelings that I got. Now, of course, everybody has their stance on masking up and doing all these things, and wherever you stand on it, I respect you, and I hope you can respect what I'm about to say, which is that masks make it very hard for me to breathe, especially when I'm talking to people for long periods of time. And I understand that there are times when they need to be worn, and I respect that, and not telling anybody they should or should not wear masks. I think it really just comes down to how you feel, what means most to you. That's what I think makes this country so great, is that we have the freedom to decide for ourselves. We don't need other people telling us what we should or should not think. That's just kind of what held me back last year. So I'm indirectly blaming the fact that I wasn't able to perform at my peak, mainly because of the whole situation with the masks, which were actually, it was creating a lot of claustrophobia for me. And I don't know why. They just do. I just get a lot of claustrophobia when wearing masks. So it was after that show that I started using face shields, which look very goofy, and I hate wearing them, but I have them when I need them. And it doesn't help either, because then you start talking and it fogs up, and it was really hard for me. People need to see your face too when you're talking to them. Yeah, he does want that cone of death removed. Awesome, Jordan. I'm looking forward to talking to you tonight, man. Philip Agrusa, I'm doing good, man. How are you? Doing great. Okay. So this show, I'm bringing the exact same load that I brought the last time I did it, and it was a very tough show. It was a tough show the last time I did it, but it was a very lucrative show the first time I did it, which was in 2019. And in 2019, I did something that I had never done before. I had brought a very heavy amount of graphic novels with me. I brought, for the same reasons that I'm doing it right now, it was low. I had a low count of books. I didn't have enough to actually last me the show, so I had to bring more graphic novels. 3 years later, and I'm now coming across the same problem at the exact same show. So hopefully the outcome will be the same. So what I'm bringing with me is going to be, and I have to work this out financially too. What you guys are going to see me do that right now. When I say financially, I mean it's not just about selling out. Selling out is, I'll straight up say it doesn't mean anything if you're just saying, "Hey, I sold out." Selling out means you sold out of your books and you got the paper to keep your business going. All right. So I have a projection, right? And my goal for this show, straight up, is to make $4,000. I have to make $4,000 at least for this show in order for it to, in order for me to walk away from it and say I'm happy. So I have to bring $4,000 worth of inventory with me to the show, possibly more if I can, right? But there's also limitations on what I can do at the show because there are only so many hours, and Friday is a reduced day, so the show doesn't actually start until I think 1 or 2 o'clock. So 1 o'clock, that's when the show starts. That means I'm losing 3 full hours of a full day. So I have to be like, as soon as the show starts on Friday, I got to be out the door swinging if I want to make my goal. Because last time I went to the show, I made about $3,000. So I was a little shy. And granted, I left early, and I just wasn't getting the same type of reaction that I was the year prior. So I'm hoping that that's going to change. But I also think it had a lot to do with my mindset. Where was I mentally? Was I present and in the moment when I was over there? Probably not, because of what I was feeling. And it was really tough. The claustrophobia really set in. And there were a lot of changes. What else was going on last year? I was separating from my partnership with my former partner, which was really difficult for me because not only was he my business partner, but we were very good friends, or we are still very good friends. He was a brother to me, and it wasn't an easy decision for me to make. It was very hurtful, and I had to still think about how to do it the right way, and I knew that there was no right way to do it. It was like pulling off a Band-Aid. So that made things really difficult. In last year. So to say, well, it was all masks. No, it wasn't all masks. But wearing the mask kind of felt like someone was putting like a pillow over my head, or like, their hand over my mouth, and I had to talk over that. And it's like, and that was really, really hard for me. And I had done it before. It was really weird because out the door I was at Tampa Bay Comic-Con in 2021, and they removed all the mask mandates for that show because it's Florida. It's Florida! No one gives a crap in Florida. And it was fine. But even at Tampa Bay, they were saying, well, they're thinking about canceling MegaCon. I'm like, oh, shit. So MegaCon was 2 weeks later, and I already had money put into it and everything. And these traveling shows, well, all the shows are traveling, but these shows where I have to ship stuff out, that's tough. The best thing about this show is I can drive to it. But going back to MegaCon, that was a show where they reinstated the mask mandate, and I had to wear my mask the entire time, and I'd sold 1,200 books that weekend. So it worked out. But then as things were going on, all these other little life things happening, it all kind of played a part. And there's personal stuff, some very major personal stuff going on with me right now. But this is my chance to make right. This is where I make my money. I don't make my money doing our live stream shows. There's just not enough money coming in from the amount of inventory we sell. Sometimes I sell lots of books, and sometimes I sell very little. Even with the Kickstarter, that's not really where the money comes in. My money comes in through the show floor, and that's where I need to be. So that's time I take very, very seriously, because it's either do or die. Every minute of that show counts for me, because that's my only time to make money. Doing this now, that's all changing, of course, all the time. Like during convention season, that's what's going on. when I'm in the off season and I have more time to focus on my collectibles, you know, things kind of change here and there. You know, it depends. But the bottom line is it's got to work out at the end of the year, right? And I got to be able to make sure that I have enough money to keep my business going and that I have enough money to survive on. And it's tough. It's not easy. I'm not going to tell anybody that, oh, it's easy and I've figured it out. I'm figuring it out every day. And there are good days and then there are bad days. I like to think that after having been doing this for as long as I have been now, that I have a better understanding of what I need to do in order to keep myself, you know, keep my business afloat. So that's something that I'm very happy about. But I would never recommend anybody do it exactly the way I did, because the way I do it is not, it's not easy. It's not the easiest way to do it. I wish someone could step in and show me the easy way to do it, which obviously a lot of people are going to Kickstarter for in order to make that happen. And you know, there was a period where I was actually looking for work. I guess I'll just tell you guys. I was actually I applied for a sales position over at Boom Studios, and I was interviewed 5 times over there, and then I basically just got ghosted. They haven't responded to me in months now. So, and I don't think I don't hold it against them. I actually knew a couple of the people who interviewed me, and it was, you know, it was an experience, and it would have been cool to work for them because I think I would have had a chance to really learn a lot of things. But then I think my business would suffer as a result, and that's not something that I want to see happen. Especially right now with all the traction that we're building with Warline coming out soon, and things with Yisu Chin ramping up, and you know, my focus really needs to be on my properties right now and being out at these conventions and being present. So yeah, it's a very different. I have a very different approach to comics, and especially the way I make them. It's very different than how most creators go about it. Because for me, if I'm going to stand out in front of a table and push a book for 10 hours a day, I have to believe in what I'm selling. I have to be 100% on point with what it is. I have to be a master of the product. And Dak always hated when I used the word product, but you know, your comic, you got to be the master of that stuff. I mean, I think that's what made Stan Lee such an incredible showman for Marvel, is that he was a master of all the products that were coming out at first, and then of course over time, you know, he was aware, but not as much. Let's check the comments here. Mad, what's up, brother? Thanks, Chris. I appreciate you. Mad, what's up, dude? So how am I doing? I'm doing good, man. Just getting ready for another show. I'm doing an AMA because people like watching me lose my mind as I package up books for shows. And so I don't have an exact count yet. We're going to count how many books we have here as soon as I am done with everything, which should be pretty soon here. Because I know I can only bring so many copies of issues 1 through 4 of Warrior and Defender with me. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I got 8, 9, and 10. All right. So we're definitely going to be bringing 400 copies of Warrior and Defender 1 through 4. That's essentially 100 of each book. So once we get those out there, then just a sec, guys. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to get this selected box. See, man, I'm really jealous of you because you're an artist and you get to sit behind a desk all day, you know, just drawing and breaking your back. I have to actually stand and break my back. You artists, you guys get away with murder. I have no empathy for any of you. And of course, I mean that in good humor, man. Got nothing but respect for you. And really looking forward to working with you. I've asked Chris to do a sketch cover or a variant cover for Warline, and I'm really looking forward to it. If you guys check out his profile, he's an outstanding artist. Really does some incredible work. He wants to draw boobs for me, but I told him no boobs. You guys are too obsessed with your boobs. There's a real sex addiction in this country. Now that we got love, what are we gonna do with it now? You can only do this shit on my channel. We can't do this stuff on any of the other networks, so I might as well get it out of my system. Now that we got love, what are we gonna do with it? All right, so you got 400 of these. And then I should also mention too, Ted currently has, so you guys remember back in June, I was in Heroes Con, and I brought 300 graphic novels with me, and we sold about 263, I'm not sure. But anyway, Ted's bringing 26 graphic novels of Fallen Avenger with him this weekend, so I only need to pack 24 of these, which is excellent. And he'll be adding to that load. So we'll have another 100 graphic novels. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have to guesstimate right now. Am I bringing enough to make enough? That's the key. It's not just selling out. Like, no one, honestly, anybody can say they sell out. Anybody can. Even I can say that I sell out. And if I don't sell out, I'll be honest and say I didn't sell out, because for me, it's not about the sellout. It's about the results at the end of the day. At Heroes Con, I didn't sell out, but I'll tell you, I performed magnificently because I've never at one single convention sold so many graphic novels. And the stock that I have left, I didn't have to ship it back. It's being brought to me at this convention this weekend. So that's an example of how we all work together within this industry to help each other get the results we need, and not spend so much money crazily, because things get expensive when you're doing this by yourself. So it's important for me as well as everybody else to work together as much as possible so that we can alleviate our costs, and that means sharing hotel rooms and splitting dinners and doing things like that so that we can bring home more at the end of the show and do more afterwards, And Ted and I spoke yesterday, and he said that if we reach a certain point, if we can hit $10,000 on our Kickstarter, he is going to totally hook you guys up with the first 2 issues of Tap Dance Killer for free as a PDF, as a digital PDF, which is really fantastic. And he's like, now that we got love, what are we gonna do with it now? And then there's like a little verse. You guys remember the verse? Anybody wants to copy and paste it, let me know. You know what would be awesome is if I was able to do that entire song on karaoke and like just totally impress like all the ladies out there to the point where they're like, restraining order! Cancel that! And I'll be like, I wish I had more hands so I could give all you girls 4 thumbs down. And just walk off the stage. And then do one of these maneuvers too. Practice my stretching for a masked singer. A masked singer. Yes, I did sell out of all the special con variants, Chris. Those are all gone and done with. But if you like the art for that, I'm doing a foil that's exclusive to the Kickstarter right now. And again, it's just limited to the Kickstarter. So I might print up a few more afterwards, but if, let's say, I sold 50 copies of one variant, then I might print up 100 and then just slowly sell those off. Some creators like to go higher, like I just spoke with Ted, and he actually likes to print up 500 of every single variant that he has, which makes sense to him. You guys have no idea why that's funny. It's really kind of not. Now that we got love, what are we gonna do with it? And since I'm leaving early for Cincinnati Comic Expo, I'm actually going to do another hotel show tomorrow. I'm actually looking forward to that. That's going to be great. So I'm going to bring some books with me to do an EXP show and to do a major push. And what I'm thinking about doing is a mystery box sale. So from this collection that I picked up, the seller put a bunch of books inside a $15 grab bag. So all you have, so it's an entire box of just random books, and basically, I'm going to sell them all off for $15. I have no idea what's in them, but what I'll do for you guys is this: I'll open up the mystery boxes for you on the show every time you pick one up, and it's only $15. And I'll show you the comics you get. So that way I don't have to really build a collection, nor do I have to have a rack, which will be really great. It's just going to be that. And we're going to be talking about the Kickstarter and how it's going to be closing out, because we're going to be in the final 24 hours at that point. So we're going to be talking a lot about the Kickstarter and slinging a bunch of mystery boxes, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be something very different. That's going to air on The Experience tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. Eastern from a seedy hotel in Cincinnati, Ohio. Live from a seedy hotel in Cincinnati, it's Kicking It with Onrie. I might drop an F-bomb. Actually, I can't drop an F-bomb. Actually, I think JD told me I get one F-bomb a show. Maybe two. Depends on what happens. All right, Mr. Barkster. Don't get out. Stay in here. Hey, get back in there. Bentley's like, now that we got skid parks, what are we gonna do with it? Come here. Come in here. Come here, buddy. That's my good boy. Yeah. He's a little blue tulip. He's a Frenchman. He's French. He's from the French. Here, he's gonna snort all over you guys right now. Bark, bark, bark. Back the ECG campaign. Bark, bark, bark. Chuck, what's going on? I don't know, man. Speaking of which, Chuck, I hope you're here right now because I have something to say to you. I saw your post earlier on Facebook, and I just want to let you know how much I sincerely appreciate working with you. Over the last 2 years that you and I, well, actually, it's been a year now. Let's say it's a year. The last year that we've been working together, you have helped me make so many leaps and bounds and helped me work past so many roadblocks that the last thing I would ever think about you is that you're flaky or not present. You dug Yi Shin out of purgatory and Warline out of purgatory. We actually have 2 completed books coming out, and that's thanks to you, my friend. So I just want you to know how much I appreciate you and how much you mean to me and everybody in the comics community, except Ted. Ted doesn't really know who you are, so you don't mean a lot to him. But it's okay. We'll change that, when we see you. And then I'll just be like, hey, Ted, this is my friend Chuck. You don't know if he has a gun. You don't know if he has a knife. What's up? The Observer. The Observer. How you doing? Yes, Chuck Norris asked Chuck Pino for advice. Abso-freaking-lutely. So what happens is Chuck Norris comes up to Chuck Pino and he says, hey, Chuck, I have a very important question to ask you. And Chuck's like, yeah, what is it? Now that we got love, what are we gonna do with it? Gina, like a microphone. Oh, my finger! Oh, I cut my finger off. Luckily, I know how to use a knife. I took a seminar once, and they taught me how to use it. They told me how to cut shit up, man. I cut up everything now, man. You're never gonna take my knife from me, man. It is the most dangerous sharp thing ever. And did you like how I worked that in? Because technically, saying the term, now that we got love, what are we going to do with it, is actually a question that Chuck Norris asked Chuck Pino. And Chuck Pino didn't have an answer for him. Because if you watch or if you listen to the song, that question never gets answered. At least I don't think so. Maybe in the verse it does. It's like, oh, actually, there's a sequel to that song, and I think it's called "If You Like It, You Should Have Put a Ring on It," or then you better put a ring on it. A ringtone, that is. Oh, where's my DJ siren when I need it? I wish I wasn't such a sissy wuss boy weeder. I'm making fun of Sandman. Sandman! Sandyman! I haven't even watched the last few episodes. I'm watching Cobra Kai right now. That show is so wonderfully lame. I absolutely love it. How could you say it's lame, Onrie? That's really real. The martial arts in that show is like the real deal. It's the most McDojo-y show of all time. In the Valley. You know, this kid Miguel goes to Mexico, and you know, everybody would hear about him from the Valley because the karate tournaments out there are like real and hardcore. I wish South Park would do an episode on that. That's awesome, Observer. I'm glad to hear you're having a good day. Yes. Tell no too. All right, so far we got 400 copies of Warrior Defender 1 through 4. We have 50 copies of Warrior Defender. We have 24 copies of Fallen Avenger here because Ted's going to be bringing on another 26. So that is 2K on the two graphic novel stacks if I can sell all this stuff, plus another 1,000 for that. So far we're at $3,000, which is good. We're already halfway there. So now we got Fallen Avenger, which is, let's see here, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So now Fallen Avenger, we're going to bring 50 copies of each book for that. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. It's 20. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Okay. That is 30. And we got 40 right here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That is 40. And the last stack right here, this is going to be 50. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Now that we got love, what's Ted gonna do for dinner? This is why you guys watch the AMAs. It sounds like such an official thing, right? But it's like so lame. It's actually being aired on LinkedIn. I think this is the first broadcast I'm actually airing on LinkedIn. And I know my friends who work in the corporate world are like, what is he doing out here? This is crazy. Let's get back to making money. Bye. Let's get back to our jobs where we make billions of dollars every day. Well, this guy's completely suffering. And you should back his Kickstarter campaign. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I bet you I'm not going to get any backers from this. doing this AMA. 6, 8, 9, 10. And Ted said something today too. Actually, he was like, you could put some real emphasis on the fact that people need to back your campaign right now because you're in that last, like day. And I was like, wow, Ted, way to put pressure on my customers. Thanks for thinking of them. Such a jackass. 7, 8, 9, 10. And he's been sending me. Well, here, hold on. Let me check the comments here. Tyler Johnson. Yeah, thanks, man. Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate that. You are awesome. Now that we got love, what are we gonna do with it? And by the way, I will sign all your books for you if you want them signed, by the way, for the Kickstarter. So that option will be there. And also, if you're international, that's also something I didn't bring up really until the last points of the campaign. And I'll have it worked out. See, there are a lot of things I wanted to do on this campaign that I just didn't have a chance to get around to doing. And mainly it was addressing how to handle international orders because I fell seriously behind on that, and it's hit me in the past really hard. So what I'm offering folks right now is if you're gonna, if you want to back the campaign and you're overseas or whatever, or in a different country, I can ship to you, but I will ship you, or I will send you an invoice separately for that. So the shipping is really expensive, and I can't know exactly how much until I actually package everything up and hook you guys up. Bentley's skid barking right now. He's literally skid barking right now. He's done. Now he's just looking at me and licking his face. He's like, "You look delicious. You look delicious. You're delicious." He's skid barking right now. I wish David Moore was here to see this. Skid, skid, bark, bark, bark. Skid, skid, bark, bark, bark. Now that we got love, we gonna do with it. 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh my God, are you serious? 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 4, 6. 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. I literally am one copy shy of Fallen Avenger. Dang it. Dang it. Shazam, Shazam, Shazam. All right. Now we're doing Fallen Avenger 4. That's issue 8 of Research. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this book was also reprinted in 2019. Well, we still have plenty of other copies in stock. I'm wondering if I should double down on maybe printing up more copies of the books. I don't know. With it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five. With it, now that we got love, we do with it. Sorry, it's stuck in my freaking head now, just like the whole Jewish thing, and I was doing the whole Jewish thing before, and now I'm trying to break myself of that. So now this is the new habit. Sorry, LinkedIn. This is your first exposure of me, and I know it's not a very pleasant one. But too bad, I'm not in the corporate world, so suck one! It's going to totally keep me from ever getting hired by the big two. You want corporate? I'll give you a corporate. I'll give you a corporate backlashing. Corporate punishment. That's what they should really... No, I'm not going to say that. Viking Kuiper is the bestest thing in the world. And I also love my government. My government is the greatest. All right, we're almost done here. I'm just kidding. I don't care about our government. Just kidding. I do. IRS, I love you guys. Did I say IRS on here? I probably shouldn't say IRS on here. All my papers are in order. The docket is set. Business good. I love you. Government. How's that for a sales pitch? I know it's just blowing up on LinkedIn right now. All my friends who work for the IRS are probably, the good organization that protects our president's best interests at heart so that we can all be happy and Bentley can skid park everywhere freely. Now that you can skid park, what are you going to do? He's going to do it here now. You guys can actually watch him do it. Come on, bud. Keep skid. No. You're supposed to skid park. There, he's doing it right now. You just got to get him in position. Here, come here. Here. Do it there. Sit down. Sit. Good boy. I don't have snacks for you right now. But you can. He's like, well, then I'm not skid parking. Forget about it. Get someone else to do your skid parking for you. Well, fine then. I will. You jerk. You jerk. Now that we got skid marks, what are we gonna do with it? So it's kind of a small load here, right? But this is an important load. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Like that. It's an important load. I'll explain in just a second here. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, let's see here. Another empty box of Mark's books. We're down to the last 2 boxes of Mark's, and Mark's is out of print again, which is really amazing. Really happy about that. That's going to be a book that's going to need to be rebranded and possibly something I want to partner up with another publisher for if I'm going to put it out again. We'll see. I mean, I think we got enough copies circulating, but it might actually warrant going back to Kickstarter for. I might just keep it in print because it is such a good seller for me. I just don't have much to offer other than the book itself in terms of rewards for you guys. So I have to really meditate on the best way to go to Kickstarter for it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And putting it out as a single issue book is makes no sense. So it's not something not an avenue I'm really interested in pursuing. Mark's is meant to be experienced in one shot. You know, it's not one of those books that you want to get one issue on and that's it. You know, it's like you got to have the whole story. It's kind of like realizing that you have love and you don't know what to do with it. I mean, it is. 2, 4, 6, 9, 2. But luckily, the winter season's coming and things will kind of slow down. I'll probably amp up more on my collectibles business to kind of keep things afloat during the winter time. That'll allow me to figure out everything with our printing situation and really gear up for a really strong and lucrative 2023, which is going to see a lot of new stuff come to play, I think we'll be able to even release more line 2 at that point, because so far production has been moving at a very rapid pace. 6. 8. 2 more. Now you guys can hear Brent is snoring because he's obviously as entertained as you guys are. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. So, we've got to get some more Hunter and Destroyer 1 books. Give me just 1 second. We'll handle that. And we will have our finished load here. And then that'll be the end of our show, of our AMA. Because in a couple of minutes here, I'm going to need to get going to pick up my kid. All right, let's see what we got here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That's 30. 6, 36, 38, 40. We got 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, and 1 more, and we're good. 10. Okay, so let's count this up. If I sell 40 copies of Marx plus 40 copies of Marx is going to bring out 600. Selling 50 copies of Hunter and Destroyer 1 is 150. So that's 750 here. Plus 500 for the full and Avenger single issues, plus 2,000 on the single issue or on the graphic novels, plus 1,000 on the other ones. That brings us to 4,250. So that's great. But I just realized something. I still have a couple of these Tales from the Crypt books here. 2, 4, 6. I got 6 copies left, and these are out of print. But aside from having that, I also have a stack of single issue books here that I could probably just put out there that'll sell themselves. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So exactly 10 here. If I add those on, that is going to give me 4,250 plus 100, 4,350. If I could walk out of that show with 4,350 in my pocket when all is said and done, and I can also bring some T-shirts with me, and maybe get to I'm $150 away from hitting 4,500. I guess I'll just bring another. Maybe I should just blow out the rest of these single issues. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So that's 20. And by the way, the publisher who put this out got sold to Mad Cave Studios. So these books are done. They're not being reprinted. Just letting you know. And I'm going to be selling each one for $10 this weekend. And I worked on it so I can sign it for you. So that's 20 copies. So we'll add 100 plus 100. And now we just need 5 more of them, right? So I got 2 over there, so 3. And I'm left 2 copies of that Tales from the Crypt. So this will be kind of like our stretch goal, I guess. If we can sell all of these books here, that'll bring $4,500 total to the business, which is great. So that's going to be my goal. And I hate to do this, but I got to get running right now because I got to go pick up my kid from school and then I'm going to come back here, box all this stuff up, throw it in my car, and then tomorrow I'm off to Cincinnati. You guys will see me tonight on Jordan Hager show at 9:30 Central, 10:30 Eastern, 8:30 Mountain, 7:30 Pacific. And on the EXP on Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain, 9 p.m. Central, and 10 p.m. Eastern. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in to my AMA. Love being with you.